This is Richard Lynch. You're watching ilovelimerick.com, and today I am so honoured to be back here at Glin Castle in County Limerick, and I'm here with Catherine FitzGerald and Dominic West. Catherine, it's been 14 years since I've been here to visit your dad when I did the interview with him. 14 years. Talk to me about your dad. He was the 29th knight and the last living knight. Talk to me about your amazing father.
Well, he was a great inspiration to all of us. He was on a mission, really, wasn't he? He had a passion for architecture and art in Ireland, and he wanted to do as much as he could for conservation and preservation, all of that kind of movement. I grew up with that around us, so of course we absorbed so much of all his passion, really, for that. So here I am, still here and looking after the fabric, the gardens, restoring Glin Castle back to its heyday.
Dominic, can you talk to me about the history of this incredible building? Can you tell everyone out there about the legacy and history of Glin Castle?
Well, the FitzGerald, the Knights of Glin have been here for 800 years at the castle down in the village, which was then blown apart by the forces of Elizabeth I. So then they moved here to this low bit here. This longhouse here was the oldest part. And then it was castellated and made beautiful in the 18th century and made grand and into the great sort of party house it is now. And that's what Catherine's forebears and parents and Catherine and I are trying to keep going, that this is a great place for entertaining and for parties, really. You know, you've got to have a reason to come off the Wild Atlantic Way, and this is a great reason to do it, to come into Glin and to visit the castle and to visit the gardens and to spend money in Glin Village as well. So it's a great local resource. We have open days several times a year.
Our open day, we have a couple of open days, but the biggest one is at the end of August, and we do it on Instagram and stuff so people know, and then we get crowds of people coming to see the garden, and we have kind of lots of fun things going on. So we'll be doing that this year, so we hope that, you know, some of your viewers might come along. And it's all for charity, it's all for Glin development. Community is really important to us, and the Knights Walk, which we created hand in hand with Glin development, is a wonderful trail which goes over the farm up to the top highest point, so you can look down the estuary in both directions. It's really strenuous, it's all uphill. We have joggers, we have walkers, people from further afield. That was a real lovely joint effort between us and the village Glin development.
And this takes a lot of work to maintain this castle while keeping its history. Talk to me about how you do that.
Yes, it's always a quandary, isn't it? The patina of age is important. You don't want to take away from that. I mean, there's a million little things at these old houses to keep them a breathing, living entity. With Dominic's help, together we've done 7 years of conservation work on the house, meanwhile developing the gardens so that it's up to scratch to receive visitors who will be using it for weddings, corporate events, launches, meetings from all over the world, hopefully from the local community. There are many good, wonderful businesses and enterprises around here who are showing positive interest in using it. And we're local, it's obvious to come to us.
This is also a hotel?
So it's not a hotel, it's an exclusive use, it's called in the industry, which means you get a group together and you take the whole place, and it did very well after COVID because people wanted to be alone, but there are also a lot of companies and families from the States particularly who just be in a place without lots of other people around. And we can do that. We have a fantastic team here. We can look after a group, we have a chef, we have a whole team, and we can look after friends, family or corporate.
This is almost like an undiscovered gem. Like, I don't think people realise that this is actually here, and it's probably one of the most beautiful thing in the whole county.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty unique actually in Ireland and the world, because the family's been here constantly for this long, and all the furniture and paintings are collected by the family, and mainly by Catherine's father, who was a great connoisseur who wrote all the books on Irish furniture and Irish painting. And so it's not like the more ritzy castle hotels, which are, I suppose, more corporate or don't have that sense of history or that patina that we have here. It is a sort of hidden gem that has its great advantages, that not everyone knows about this.
Why is it so important that we give people out there a chance to help us preserve the history of Glin Castle?
Well, because it's so much about Irish identity, that, the Normans who first came here and they married into the local Irish chieftains, and the knights that were descended from those chieftains. And so it's very much the heart of Irish history. And that's part of our identity and part of what we treasure and why people love coming to Ireland. People come to Ireland for the history. And so places like this are so important.
And I I think also, Richard, we've lost a lot of it. So we have many beautiful historic houses, but there's less, and I think in this end of the line down here, there aren't very many. And the other thing that's important, many houses are sold and the collections get split up, and it's the collections that tell the story. And you've got the, family tree, the original, and you've got the harpsichord, you've got the portraits. If a house is sold, all of that is dispersed, but here, it's here to tell the story. And the story is itself a story in miniature of the whole of Irish history. And I suppose my aim is to try to make it sustainable for the future and a connection with the family and all of that. And this is why we're here today. I'm trying to spread the word, tell people that we are here and that we are open.
Guys, this is Catherine and Dominic. This is Glin Castle, the most iconic site in the whole city and county. If you've never been here, I urge you to come. This is Richard Lynch. You've been watching ilovelimerick.com. Give it a wave, guys. Give it a wave. See you soon.